the spectrum, and I think you did a post about like people with neurodivergence having hard time with girls, and that really interested me. How are you? You look married.
Say it again.
No, how are you? How's your weekend been?
Good, man. No complaints. Just gonna knock out this live, go to sleep, and then get
Yeah,
started with the rest of the week. But what about the content did you find to be most helpful?
I I think over explaining. I think when you were
Okay.
talking about the over explaining, it really rung a bell for me because I was at a function earlier, like I think like a year ago, and I was talking to this girl, and I was just trying to over explain. I was I thought I was doing well. I was talking to her, and I realized she wasn't that interested in me, and I didn't pick up on the cues.
Gotcha.
And I was like over explaining to her about it, and she felt kind of uncomfortable about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely something that I want to like dive deeper into because I know guys who are on the spectrum, neurodivergent, things of that nature, have a very unique struggle with this kind of stuff because there's no clear. Take someone who's on the spectrum. They typically operate better when there's a clear rule book, right? Do this, that, if X, then Y type of system. And in this world of attraction, it's normally not that clean cut, right? So it can be extremely difficult to navigate. Um, but I and other coaches do our best to try to make it as systematic as possible. But like
right.
dating, it's a stochastic system, right? It's a lot of variables. It's there's no guarantees. There's a lot of you can be in a situation and do everything right and not get the outcome you want, and you can do everything wrong and get the outcome you want. It's one of those situations, right? So it's just the only thing I can really tell you right now is just to be patient with yourself. Try to learn from your mistakes. Um, don't over index too much on rules because, like I said, just because something didn't go your way doesn't necessarily mean you did something wrong. Okay.
And I think also part of me is I think like one question I do have is like like I'm a late bloomer. I'm 27, and
Okay.
on some TikTok sites, like I've had creators who are like 35 or 40, never had a boyfriend, never had a girlfriend, and I think for me recently, with like last week being Valentine's Day, a lot of these posts come up, and I fluctuate between oh shit, that's gonna be my life, and then part of me is like no, working, I'm actively working on myself. I'm going outside. I'm putting myself in situations and occurrences where I can build myself up to be more attractive, and have stories to do that. But
Right.
how do you not get into this trap of oh no, this is going to be your life? Like you see other. I think the problem is I compare myself to other people, so when I see other people's story being like oh I'm 35, never had a boyfriend, then I'm like worried about that.
Those people typically, I won't say this is true for all of them, but typically they weren't they did not have a growth mindset with this stuff. Have you ever read the book Mindset?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a good book, man. It's a very easy, simple read, but the author pretty much puts people in two categories. They either have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. People who have a fixed mindset think that their abilities, their talents, their skills are fixed, and there is really no capacity to grow them or improve, right? It's just how I am is how I am. That's their mindset, right?
Right.
People with the growth mindset look at things differently. They view things from the perspective of they can always improve and always get better at something, even if it's like a crippling weakness. If they wrap their heads around it the proper way, if they put enough effort into it, give it enough time, they can always improve, right? So the people that you're talking about who have reached those milestones and they just haven't like gotten the outcome they wanted, or they more than likely were in a situation where they expected it to just kind of fall in their lap, right? Or even if they did try, they did not. leveraged a iterative process, right? So they weren't trying to improve. Every time they stepped up to the plate, they may have swung, but they didn't like do an assessment of like what went wrong, what went right, what lesson can I extract from this in order to improve for the next go around, right? If that's your mindset, if you think from that perspective and take that approach over a long enough time horizon, you'll get what you want. Okay?
Mhm.
All right, brother. But hopefully that was helpful, man. I got to move on, but
It was. Thank you so much. Have a good
absolutely,
day.
brother. You take care.
Bye. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hannah, did you ever answer my question? I don't think I saw your response. I was busy talking. Did you dodge it or did you answer it? Eba, do you know what's Hannah's dating life like right now? Oh, I said I'm just having a good time. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Hannah. Nothing wrong. Cool. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. All right, people. If you have any questions, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. Many prospects. Many prospects. Where are the many prospects coming from, Hannah? You getting them DMs on social media? What's up, Danny?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well. I do have a question, but I wanted to lead real quick to give some advice because I myself am on the spectrum, and something that helped me is I grew up playing a lot of sports. So I learned to see dating the same way I see sports, where there is structure, there's
Right.
things you develop a conceptual understanding of, but it's also inherently very chaotic. There's a lot of variables that are out of your control, and the best way to approach it is to practice what you know and do the best with what you can and leave what's not up to you,
Right.
to happen. But approaching it from a sports or competitive sports mentality helped me a lot in my growth.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because I've been trying to figure out like how to best help guys who are in that situation because I know they struggle with it the most. But yeah, that makes sense. When did you make that connection? Like, how old were you?
Ooh, I would say probably in my upper 20s.
Okay.
I don't think I really made that connection in my early 20s, but eventually I just kind of realized that it's very similar, and the things I developed playing team sports carries through into a lot of other aspects of life, so why not carry it into dating and social settings?
Right.
It's worked for me.
That makes sense, bro. I'm glad you figured it out, man. Hopefully the content's been like amplifying that.
Absolutely.
What question you got for me?
Okay, so something I noticed, I'll admit it, I myself did this, and I've noticed through a lot of the calls that we've definitely over-indexed on attachment styles as a way to understand our dating problems. And I guess a question I had for you is, what is a good question you can start asking yourself in these situations that helps kind of recenter you and focus on the decisions that kind of matter and not so much on things like attachment styles? I guess like a good example is an easy one I kind of learned a while back is when you catch someone in a lie, like a clear-cut lie, instead of kind of ruminating or looping on the why they're lying or what they're trying to hide, you just acknowledge that you can't trust this person anymore. And the question you should be asking is, should I be pursuing a serious relationship with someone that I can't trust?
Right.
And once you get that answer, you come to an easy conclusion. So I guess I'm asking something along the lines of what you can ask yourself in those situations in terms of attachment styles and stuff to recenter you on the facts that matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of vague, but I think I get what you're saying. Like a lot of people, for example, start to default to why they want to like figure out the truth of the situation, like what is the motivation, why the person is engaged in a particular behavior. Where to your point, you have to think from a macro perspective, ask the bigger, larger question, which is this in alignment with what I want or not? Right?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. That's the right question, I think.
Yeah, it's just like there's no
Is
need
this
to be
person
like,
aligned?
is this person avoidant? Are they a narcissist? Are they engaged in a behavior you like or not? If the answer is no, then you should probably leave. Right? There's
Okay.
no need to
Yeah.
unpack it. It's like just leave, right? But
Right.
when we have that open loop, we kind of get curious and we just want to decrease the ambiguity of the situation and like know the truth. But it's like, yeah, you can figure that out, but
Yeah.
ultimately it doesn't change
Yeah.
the even after you receive your answer, you still have to answer the question of whether or not that's in alignment with what you want.
Right. That's something I learned to soothe myself about with the open loops is it's okay to not have the answer. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to know the why when you lose things that matter to you.
I think that's harder when you're
Um,
neurodivergent too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when especially if you tend to hyperfixate on
Yeah.
things and people and situations. I think something that's helped me when I would need to grieve stuff like that is to just sit and acknowledge, get out of the who, what, where, why, trying
Yeah.
to understand everything, and
Right.
just acknowledge I lost something that mattered to me,
Exactly.
and just be sad about that for a bit.
Right.
Um,
I actually leverage that
That-
ability. That's part of the reason why I coach. Because me and neurodivergent myself, like I seek coherence. It has to make sense to me, right? It'll drive me crazy sometimes, but it doesn't make sense. Like people are like, how do you know all this stuff? Because it has to fucking,
mhm.
I have to make it make sense. That's
Yeah.
right. If it
Yeah,
doesn't make
I think
sense,
that's
go ahead.
it's like a huge part of my confidence. Is like I
Right.
feel like before I even practice something, I have to have a deep conceptual understanding of something, and
Yeah.
then I can start practicing it till I get good at it.
Right.
Then when I'm really good at it, I'm really confident in it. But I have to, before I even get there, I have to understand not just how it works, but why it works.
Exactly.
Like,
Yep. That's how I got all this information. It's like it's being obsessed with being like, what is the underlying principle here, right?
mhm.
And it's ultimately like a fear of not having control. It links to wanting to, the illusion of control. It's like if I understand things, if I understand stuff to a large enough degree, I can impose my will upon it and get the outcomes that I want. And then you
Right.
then learn the lesson eventually in life that like that's a farce. You'll never
Yeah.
get to that level.
It's something I'm still working on letting go of. Is like, just because you fully understand something doesn't mean it can't happen to you again. Like,
Right.
just because you understand how dating works doesn't mean other people won't disappoint or hurt you.
Yeah,
People are people.
100%,
And
bro.
this is
when I first
very
got
much a somatic emotional domain.
absolutely, man. When I first got a single and started working with my coach, I like understood things to such a deep, on such a deep level that when I encountered situations that did not conclude the way I wanted them to conclude, I was like, what the fuck? Like, no, this is how this was supposed to
Yeah.
happen, right? And it's like you have to ultimately just be like, you will never learn enough to control outcomes. It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Well, I appreciate the feedback.
Absolutely, brother.
I'll be sure to start asking myself that question more. Does this person align with what I want?
My man.
That's been a big help.
All right, Danny. Good talking to you,
Awesome.
bro. You take care.
Good talk. Bye-bye.
All right. Tyler, what's going on? Tyler, you are muted, brother. Tyler, going once. Going twice.
Hi.
Hold on 1 second, love. Okay, say, what can I do for you? Say, are you there? Say, going once. Going twice. Alright.
Hey, gone.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Quick question. So, right now on major cities, what do you feel about
What do I feel about what?
the dating apps, the dating market in major cities? Like it's dying down really bad. What's the overall solution?
You said it's dying down? Like dating apps are dying down?
Yeah, like dating apps, all the real like people that want to date, they're like quitting dating apps and stuff like that.
Okay. I think that's a good thing. What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of it's too big, right?
Yeah, dating apps don't really capture how we naturally pair off. So it messes up the economics of the dating marketplace, right? So if people are foregoing dating apps, that's a great thing, to be honest. I was under the impression that people in like these bigger cities were the biggest users of dating apps. That's not the case anymore.
Well, yeah, like they're kind of getting tired of it. They're choosing more like practical solutions like cafes. One of those like cafe parties in the morning kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, Especially with AI and stuff, a lot of people are. There's going to be a market for like physical locations where people get really creative. Um, Stuff like that. I've seen like a coffee shop with a flower shop inside it and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. What specific questions you have on it? You just wanted my thoughts in general?
yeah, like what's happening in big cities? Like, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any clients that echo that sentiment. I have clients who all over the globe. Obviously, most are in the U.S. who are in bigger cities, but they haven't told me that dating apps have decreased. I'm sure there's still a big presence of dating apps, no matter what big city you're in, right? Even if a number of people are avoiding them, but I think that you increase the odds of stumbling upon a more um, stronger bond if you meet in a more organic way, right? Like I always tell people to put themselves in static environments, which is defined as environments where you have to see the same person or the same people over and over and over again, right? That's like how we evolved, coming from, more tribal atmospheres or environments where you just see the same people and you just pair off with those people that you see all the time, right? People also treat you better in that type of environment because because you see each other all the time and you know the people they know, and they know the people you know. Treating people poorly in that environment comes with a reputational hit,
Yeah.
right? Whereas in a dating app environment, I don't know nothing about your world, you don't know nothing about my world or the people connected to it, so I can just ghost you and never think twice about you. You likely not ghosting a guy you met at church. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I
true.
mean? But you got to see him again, and the mothers know him, right? Pastor and him got a good relationship, so you're probably going to let him know, like, even if it doesn't work, you're probably going to communicate that. See what I'm saying? So it's a better vibe. It gives regular guys a fighting chance because on dating apps, women and men have totally different experiences on dating apps, right? Like men are fishing, so they're just probably liking as many women as possible, right? Your average guy is doing that, right? Women get so many leads, they get so many likes, they're overwhelmed, so they have to find a way to decrease all the men coming at them, which makes them scrutinize even harder, right? So it puts them in a place where they'll deny you just because they don't like what shoes you got on,
Yeah.
right? In real life, they probably wouldn't do that, but in a dating app context, because of all the likes and all the guys trying to match with them, they have to find a way to decrease that number, and they decrease it by being like extra when it comes to ruling people out, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And then some of the younger girls, like if they're really pretty and stuff like that, I feel like they need a secretary to help them because
right.
it's so much for their age to get all that attention. They don't know how to
Yeah.
manage.
You're an average looking woman, bro. And no shade, but just like an average looking woman has a crazy amount of likes on dating apps. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's like also it's different, right? Because again, guys are fishing. So just because a guy likes you on a dating app doesn't mean that he really wants you like that. He's just trying to see who's going. You know what I mean? This also leads to women. This is part of the reason why there's so many situationships now, because a guy who's like a 10 out of 10 will sleep with that 5 out of 10. Will sleep with that 6 out of 10, right? There's women who come on this live. They'll tell me they were talking to a guy who I talked to a woman just like a couple of days ago. She matched with a guy, actually liked him, right? a guy who was more her type matched with her. So she stopped talking to the guy who she was currently building with and talked to the guy who was more her type, but he won't commit. So now she's trying to get him to commit, not knowing he'll never commit because he was never intending on committing, because you don't meet the aesthetic requirements for him to commit. Because you know guys will see you and they'll put you in a category, right? You know how we think. It's like you know what type of aesthetic you would commit to. You know upon meeting a woman whether or not she meets the aesthetic requirements for you to be seen out in public and like in a committed relationship. Right? And some women will never cross that bar. But some guys will string them along for years under the guise of one day committing. So you have a lot of women who are punching above their weight with the guy who they match with on a dating app, who just wants sexual access to her, but never plans on committing. And they think that the guy who's really on their level is beneath them because the Michael B. Jordan figure is showing them attention. So that's why I mean it messes up the dating economics. It just messes things up. She's supposed to be with that guy who's a 6 out of 10, right? But the 10 out of 10 is showing her attention, so now she feels like she's settling if she deals with a 6 out of 10 guy. It just fucks everything up. So if people are leaving dating apps, it is for the better good, for sure.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed is like a lot of women don't understand that guys actually see a lot of things in their personality, whatever they're doing. But, we can never say, we're limited to what we can say, culturally, right? As our role, we're not going to talk about, the weight, all these things that is, that, we get, judged. We get judged all the time, but we don't say anything. And that's, I guess Gen Zs are a little more different now. And I've noticed in like some of the Scandinavian countries, they're pretty straightforward. Like I know in Sweden, it's more serious to go on a date than to have casual sex in those regions too. And it's like, casual sex is sex, everybody makes their own decision, but a date, that's like, oh, it's getting serious,
Yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, like I think that, people are trying to, which I think what happened, I think when people get burnt out enough with like the digital version of connection, the pendulum always swings, right? We'll eventually work our way back to like more analog of a orientation and start connecting more. Like a lot of businesses in the future, like there's like an AI race where people are like, oh, AI. And a lot of the money's gonna be made in people bringing communities together because people are gonna feel a need for that. They want that. They'll thirst for that because everything is just too digitized nowadays, and it's not a good thing. But gotta move on, boss man. I appreciate the conversation though, bro. You hear me?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, take care, Chief. All right. I'm scared. What's going on?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Yo, so my girlfriend resent me, and I feel like she hate me because of the things I did in my past.
Okay, talk to me. What's going on?
I mean that's really it. It's some like she uses things from like the past before we met as like a reason to justify me like being a cheater or a liar.
Okay.
Or a manipulator. Or like she called me an abuser, and I'm like, bro, I don't even be doing that.
Okay. So when you say your past, you mean like before her?
Yeah, before her.
Okay. What how long y'all been together?
7 months.
Okay. When did she start bringing that stuff up?
2 months in.
Okay. So when you were dating her and you got into a relationship, you were like being honest about your past?
Yeah, I mean, like, bro, I ain't no liar. Like, I'm gonna be straight up when I talk to somebody.
Right.
And so, like, can I give you an example?
Sure.
Like when we first started talking, when I didn't know like feelings was there, right? We just talking. I go like, yo, you ever met the one that got away? Like on a whim, just making conversation. To this day, she still used that against me as like as like a crutch to say that like I'm not her type or some shit like that. My fault for cussing, bro.
You're good.
But
She
you get
uses
what I'm
that as a
saying?
crutch as saying like she's not your type.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
said that all the time, and it's weird because, you know, as a male, I don't really have a type. If you look good, you look good. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
my whole thing is I talk to you and I do things with you. I date you because you look good. So what you mean?
Right.
You feel like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get why that's annoying, but you gotta also understand too, like when you tell someone the one that got away, another way of saying that is the person who I preferred to be with. I ran into them.
100%. And I get what you're saying, but this my thing though. How is I supposed to know that you gonna take something personal if me and you are we just talking like we wasn't dating or nothing? We was just making conversation.
Gotcha. So when you were talking to her, you had no even, not even an inkling that y'all were gonna end up in a relationship together.
Nah,
Gotcha.
it was just
Yeah.
I met you. What's up? Started talking just to fill the air with words.
Yeah.
That was it.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, bro. It's just one of those situations where it's like you're not wrong, but also I also understand why she why she feels that way, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it like the equivalent would be like, let's say Shorty sees your meat, and she's like, yeah, it's funny because my guy just my ex, he's like 2 inches longer. Most guys gonna be
100%,
like,
yeah.
fuck you talk. You know what I mean? Like that'll stick with us, right? So
Yeah.
that's like the equivalent of the situation. You feel me? But you in situations like that, like I don't know if there's more situations that she's bringing up.
It's a lot more, man.
Okay.
Like I get accused of cheating, talking to somebody. Yo, if I'm like, say we on the phone and I'm like quiet for like 2 seconds, I'm getting accused of like talking to somebody else
Right.
or anything. I get accused every day of doing something. Today I just came off a 12-hour shift and she's like, yo, you didn't text me during your break. You must have been with somebody. And it's like, dude, I just got off work.
Right.
I texted you immediately when I pulled up in the driveway. What's the issue?
I got you.
get accused every single day.
What?
And,
So
and what my real question is like, how do I deal with somebody who's built this resentment for me?
yeah, it's
That were
I
things
think
that weren't in my control.
I think you took a woman who was insecure and anxious, and you amplified it with that one thing that you said, which was the one that got away, right? That was like that opened up the can of worms. So if she's never caught you in anything or you haven't been moving with any kind of suspicion, but she's just, automatically putting those things on you, you have to ask yourself if there's something you want to deal with. Like, because I could tell you that you just need to give her a lot of reassurance, right? Like, just keep reassuring her and letting her know, like, how you feel about her, that she's the only woman for you, right? Like, you don't have eyes for nobody else, yada, yada, yada. But when we talk about this level of insecurity to where she want to keep tabs on you and stuff, and there's no precedent of you doing anything wrong, right? Like putting cheating allegations on someone who has never cheated on you, it's not going to stop. You know what I mean? Like, you even if you do give the reassurance in the best way, it's never going to fill that hole within her that was caused by this insecurity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really a selfish person. I personally feel like that's not my problem. Like, if it's two individuals in a relationship, why is your insecurities like the focal point?
Well, that's
of
what
you
I'm saying.
being mad, sad.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
like,
up?
that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to ask her if you want to deal with that.
Yo, I rock with her. She cool. Like, she really know how to be a girlfriend when it comes to like, I don't want to sound crazy, but women do these. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she know how to be a woman when it comes, but it's just like, I feel like the emotional maturity is just isn't there.
Yeah, and you have to ask yourself if that's what you want to deal with, because like Like, look at it from this perspective. The way that she is how she always going to be. Right? So if you assume that to be true, the way that she currently is how she's always going to be, you have to decide if like you want to sign up for that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You saying drop her, bro. You're
Yeah.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you don't want to tolerate that, then that's the only option.
Yeah, cause I feel like when it comes to women, a lot of things just be like a game of like cat and mouse, you know, and I don't want to play the game. I just want you to be there for me and just be a person to me, you know? That's
Right.
really it.
Yeah. Yeah, you might gotta find someone who's a better fit, bro. Because the type of insecure that she is going to stay there until like she solves that problem for herself. You can't solve that problem for her.
And do you feel like at a certain age people don't change? That's my last question.
People can change at any age, but like you shouldn't be betting on it. You should look at change as like if somebody is actively like you can look at a person who's overweight, right? Who's fat, and be like they could get in shape, but they're not trying to get in shape, right? So they're probably gonna stay fat. But you can also look at a fat person who like goes to the gym. They just started going to the gym. They're weighing their food, right? You can see they're putting in effort to changing. Okay, if you see a person putting in effort to changing, then it's like, okay, they're probably going to change. Does it make sense?
And it's been 100%.
Right.
My fault, bro. I'm real talkative because like
You good?
like the 7 months, right? I told her like the problem with you is like your communication. Like she tells me how she feels, right? I receive it, I understand it, and I apologize, even if I'm not even in the wrong, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm upset about something and I'm telling her like, yo, that's just not right, everything gets flipped back onto me in a sense of like, well, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. And it's
Right.
like there's no real resolve. It's like since I started talking to her, there's no resolve in our relationships when it comes to just communication.
Right.
And I feel like, dude, maybe I'm just wasting my time. Like, because I feel like at a certain age, you should be able to come to a conclusion when you talk to somebody after an argument, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's never been that. Not one time has it been that.
Right. Yeah. So that's how you wanna look at it, right? It's like if she stays this way forever, do you want to deal with that? The answer is no. Cut. The only time I would say to be patient in a situation like this is if she was actually trying to, if she like admitted, like I do, sometimes I do be tripping, right? Like sometimes I do feel insecure. I'm gonna go seek out some therapy. You might want to be patient in that situation. Because like the analogy with the person who's overweight going to the gym, okay, she's trying to work on it, right? That's not your situation though. She's not trying to work on it. She won't even acknowledge that she has a problem.
Appreciate you, man. You opening my eyes, and people in the comments opening my eyes too. I really appreciate you, man.
No problem, brother. Keep me a post on how it goes, all right?
I got you. Stay safe.
All right, Chief. All right, we got Laverne Pearson. See if Laverne connects. Laverne, you got to be at least 60 with a name like that. We're going to see. Laverne. Got a little geriatric cutie, huh? Is that what we got? A little geriatric cutie. All right. Come on, Laverne. Talk to me. Old timer, right? See if she connects. Laverne. She couldn't figure it out. Okay. Well, try to come back, Laverne, when your connection improves, love. Whoever thought that I was body shaming the hypothetical person, that analogy is stupid as hell. Girlie, you can leave the live. All right. And if you have a question, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I or one of my mods will bring you up. Come on, Velvet. I thought she had a question for me. Thought she had a question, Velvet. So many people watch these lives, man. They never come up for a question. I know y'all got questions. In the meantime, though, you can drop a question in the chat. I'll answer it there. I have a question. Why would a man unfollow and remove as a follower a woman he likes? I need more context. So, did this man try to talk to you? Did he like DM you and you ignored him? Right? Because I'll tell you, if I follow somebody, let's say I follow a woman on Instagram, 9 times out of 10, I'm interested. Right? If you follow me back and I DM and there's no answer, I'm unfollowing. Or if I follow you, don't follow me back, I'm unfollowing. Right? So that's where my mind goes when you ask this question. Timid said, I just be listening. I hear you, Timid. Timnit. That's a nice profile pic, love. Spent more time with her today. Real good. Met one of her close friends. Tomorrow we spending time. Okay. Well, remember, Mr. O'Neill, what was the key word in your situation? Pacing, right? Pacing. Okay? You know what you're not doing right now? Pacing. Why are you seeing her every day, bro? You gotta relax now. You gotta relax. You're going a little too fast. I'm glad it's going good, but you don't want to burn through the connection, okay? Curious, what book would you recommend for someone looking to explore attachment styles? You can read the book Attached. That's good. You can also read the book Becoming Attached as well. Could be tough reads though, especially that Becoming Attached. Just very boring shit. Very like a lot of clinical research, all that kind of shit. And it's like, you may not want to read all that. But it's really not complicated, to be honest with you. I think you can look at just Google or go to Perplexity and be like, simply explain to me the attachment styles, and you pretty much got it. Hey, Emily.
Oh, hey, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
I guess I'll just summarize it because, like, the last guy, I feel like got my brain thinking, but pretty much, like, I was dating my boyfriend for, like, 7 months. We're, like, kind of long distance. Like, I live in New York City, he lives in Toronto. We broke up, like, once, and it was, like, I guess just, like, long story short, like, I guess, like, I get really anxious sometimes throughout, and then I guess he just felt, like, no space and suffocated, and then like we got into a disagreement over something, like meeting his friends, and then he broke it off, and then he was like adamant, like I don't get back together, and whatever, like a month later we were still talking. He's like, okay, I actually want to like get back together, but like honestly since like we got back together it's been like 5-6 months, and I just like we've just been having minor disagreements, and like now that I look back, like nothing actually really got resolved. And then, like, I was visiting home and visiting him because I'm from Toronto, and then we broke up again, or he broke up with me because he was just, like, you know, like, I feel, like, because I think I was just, like, honestly, I was kind of a bitch. Not a bitch, but, like, I just kind of, like, I just, like, always upset, I feel like. And then I guess he was, like, I can't take it, like, we're not happy anymore. He's like, and then he said I broke his heart because, like, he got me some stuff for Valentine's Day, and honestly, like, I'm back in therapy and stuff, but honestly, I just realized, like, ever since we broke up the first time, like, I've just been, like, extremely, like, triggered over it, because, like, you know, eventually he wanted to work through it, but his first response was to, like, break up, and then we broke up again, like, and I've honestly been pretty fine, but I think I just kind of wanted the male perspective, because my confusion just comes in, like, he's, like, sitting there when we're breaking up, and he's, like, pretty much crying, and he's, like, oh, like, you hurt me, like, you know, I'm trying so hard to make you happy, but you're never happy. And, like, it's like what the other guy said, like, I understand, like, my part, right? But I think I'm just, like, I'm trying really hard, you know, like, to fix that part. And, like, I'm aware that, like, hey, like, I just, like, wasn't really the best girlfriend in that period. But at the same time, like, it's hard to do that when, like, my baseline needs aren't really being met. And, like, also, like, it's just kind of, like, traumatic, like, your partner breaking up with you. You know, and like when he first broke up with me, I was kind of already like, I think you just need to like calm down and take some space. But at the same time, I'm trying to like regulate myself because I technically got broken up with, right? So I had no time to regulate my own system because I was trying to like help him with his. And like now I'm just kind of like, okay, like I do need to work on my own issues. Otherwise, like it doesn't matter if it's with him or for somebody else. Like it's just gonna keep happening. But like I don't know. I guess I just kind of want to see like what your thoughts were. He's also like 6 years older than me, and like I'm 27, he's 33.
Okay. All right. So, what is your specific question in this situation?
Why would a man? Why would he like? Why would a guy do that? Or like, what do you think is going on there?
Why would he do what?
I guess just like break up, get back together, and then I felt like the conflicts were easy. Like we could resolve them through talking, but again, it was just leave. But then he's still crying over how much I hurt him.
Okay. Why did y'all break up the first time?
Well, he wanted me to meet his friends, and I honestly just like wasn't really that comfortable yet because they're very different from me, and it didn't go bad, but I think he was like disappointed by my enthusiasm, and then I started to get worried about his reaction to it, and that his like that opinion would sway like our relationship. And then it just kind of like exploded from there. He was just like, well, like, let me talk to them. And I'm like, is this going to be a problem? And he's like, well, like, those are my friends. But it didn't go bad, that's the thing. And then in the end, we just like broke it off because he was like, oh, like, I showed up for your friends and you didn't show up for what was important to me. And I told him, I'm like, well, when you were meeting my friends, like, I didn't ask you to per se, but also like when he did, I always checked in if he was comfortable. I guess I just kind of felt like the effort wasn't the same, and he felt the same way, but it was like at a different angle.
Okay. So, the relationship sounds like it just doesn't work. Whenever I hear people are in a cycle of breaking up and getting back together, it means the foundation is broken, right? So, like, there's no point in getting back together with somebody if you didn't solve the problem that caused you to break up in the first place. Because when you get back together, the problem that caused you to break up is still there. Mm-hmm. And it still has to be resolved, right? So that's the problem. A lot of people just break up, get back together. They only get back together because they miss the person, and they forget that there was an actual problem that caused them to break up in the first place, right? So you have to actually rectify that situation. This feels like a fearful, avoidant, anxious situation, or maybe even possibly two anxious people together. I'm not sure. But definitely some communication issues. Expectations weren't being met or probably clearly articulated. But it just sounds like a bad fit.
That makes sense. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you.
Bye.
All right. Good old Emily. Hold on, what did Eva say? Why can't you hang out with someone? Didn't someone ask me why I good at public speaking? Yes, great at public speaking. I did. What was the name of that organization? What was it called? Toastmasters. I used to kill it in Toastmasters. They used to like make me stop giving speeches. They were like, okay, you're good enough. Stop giving speeches. Why can't you hang out with his friends? The point of the relationship is to enmesh your personal bubble. I think she felt like she was afraid of getting judged, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Jess, what's going on?
Hey, honey. My question is, how does a man look at a woman that is abstaining while dating?
Like a waste of time, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
If he's not abstaining, like, are you abstaining for religious reasons?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think part of the problem is the church does not give good guidance on how Christians should date. I'm of the mind that Christians should not date like worldly people, right? So you have to date like Christians should date. That means not going after the guy who turns you on, not going after the guy who's like very high novelty, very high dopamine, right? Getting the tingling feelings. You're going after the wrong people there. That's more of a worldly approach, right? From a Christian perspective, you're more so valuing faith, shared vision, shared connection, shared values, right? Like that's the foundation, and then you grow from there. But a lot of Christian women, because they don't know anything other than what they're used to, they just default to slapping a Christian label on worldly dating, right?
Right.
So, like, if you're abstaining, you should be going after someone who's also abstaining, right? Or else it
Makes sense.
100% wouldn't work. You know what I mean? And there are, exceptions to the rule where maybe a guy meets a woman and he likes her so much, maybe she brings him to the faith, right? That happens. So that's why it's like the real truth is stay connected in alignment with God so he can guide you if that's the situation that you're in, right? I saw a TikTok of this guy who was saying that he met this woman who was a Christian and he wasn't at the time. And he was trying to take her out on a date and she invited him to church. That's the only date that she would take him, that she would agree to, is if he went with her to her church, right? So he ends up trying to meet her there and she stood him up. She didn't show up. Because he's already there, he just stays for the service and he ends up really enjoying himself and then giving his life to God afterwards, right? So stuff like that can't happen. Most of the time, though, you're better off just dating someone who's already on the same page as you.
Okay, makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. You got any follow-up questions, or is that it?
No, that was it.
All right.
For your time, baby.
No problem. You have a good one.
You as well.
Potter's Field story. Eva, you say you're doing Toastmasters? Good stuff. Good stuff. I can't even see you doing Toastmasters, Eva. Can't even. I see you like laughing in the middle of a speech. All right, people, if you have a question, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. In the meantime, you can drop your question in the chat, but callers get first priority. What's up, Diamond? How you doing, love? Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Great, great. What can I do for you?
So, my question is more so dating somebody who is a little bit older than me and has a history of being cheated on in the past.
Ooh.
And he has brought a lot of that baggage into this relationship, and to the point where I feel like I'm walking on eggshells about everything. And I'm just trying to see what is worth working through and or I should just cut and run.
Okay. So, what are the ages?
He's 36, I'm 29.
Okay. It's not bad. And you said a history of cheating. Are you saying like he's been cheated on multiple times?
It was one very long-term relationship, almost, I think, like 9 years, where she was older than him.
Okay.
By at least a couple of years. And it was on and off. It sounds very toxic.
Right.
And after they broke up, I think he dated somebody else after that for a short term. But I'm the next long-term relationship after that.
Okay. How long ago was his 9-year relationship? How long ago did it end?
About 5 years.
Okay, gotcha. That's good. So how was it manifesting in your relationship, this insecurity?
When he pursued me, he pursued me. I wasn't even interested at the beginning, but
Gotcha.
It was at a point where the people around him were also interested in me. And I was very clear to him that I'm engaging, I'm single, I'm not interested in being exclusive. So I got to know him, got to know other people, but it got to the point where he pretty much gave me an ultimatum, says it's me or nobody else. And at that point, he was the only one I had been, I guess, more progressed with emotionally. So I decided, all right, let's try it. But he now pretty much like questions every time I'm out with other people, friends, men or women. He is constantly like, why did he touch you like that? Why are you so friendly with him? Why are you being so nice? or not nice. You think you're being nice, but they're interpreting it as something else, which could definitely be true. But it's definitely just been very difficult, and I find myself having to constantly reassure him, even though there's nothing happening on my end, that I'm engaging with other people inappropriately.
Got you. Okay. So, does he have a problem with just the prospect of you going out with male friends, or is it how you and the male friends are engaging one another?
It's not even that I have like male friends like that. The person who introduced us was my really good friend since like childhood. So even with the person who introduced us being my friend, who's a male, he even questions that person. Which now we've had a break, we've separated for a little while, but he seems to be trying to rekindle things. When before that happened, there was a gap where said friend did try to make a move on me, which he must have been right. So he saw something that I wasn't seeing, which I was naive about the person who introduced us. So I'm also questioning, like, is he seeing things that I'm not seeing? Am I doing something that I'm not engaging in that behavior? This is somebody who I thought was pretty much an older brother to me. Like, that's the friend that I'm talking about who introduced us, who did make a move, and that's something he brought up and said, that's exactly why I told you that I'm not comfortable with you having male friends, even if you think you're friendly.
When did Buddy make a move on you?
After me and my boyfriend had broken up. We broke up for about 3 months.
This current boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's interested in trying to rekindle. When he did that, I didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to do that without telling him what happened with this friend, because that's also his friend. And then me telling him about that is pretty much reinitiating the whole thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was the wrong move. That was the wrong move. You was making him, I was right. It's like, now it's like,
trying to be honest and...
No, I get it. Here's the thing, love. Here's the thing, right? I always make the distinction between right and wrong and unwise. Right? So, are you wrong for having male friends? No. You should be able to. But is it congruent with growing in a healthy relationship? No. It's unwise in a healthy relationship. It's unwise. And you are experiencing why it's unwise, because the moment you broke up, the guy who was around you forever now just decides to make a move on you, right? These kind of things happen all the time. And, sometimes we convince ourselves like, I'll never do X, Y, and Z, but we sometimes don't understand how weak the flesh can be, how weak we can be in certain situations, right? I saw a documentary a while back on like love, right? They were interviewing all these C-list celebrities who were in relationships, and one of the guys who was being interviewed with his wife was saying that even though he's like on TV and things of that nature, he gets invited to a lot of events, he doesn't really go to a lot of like the industry parties, like the wild parties, right? And the reason for that is because he doesn't even want to put himself in a situation to be tempted. Not because he feels like he has a problem with cheating or anything like that, but he doesn't want to increase the odds of it occurring, right? And that's wisdom, right? Is there anything wrong with him going to those parties? No, right? Networking opportunities, all that kind of stuff, but it's unwise because given his position, people are going to go at him. And they might catch him in the moment where he might be a little bit tempted, right? Yeah. So multiple things are true at one time. Your boyfriend's insecure, but at the same time, having relationships with male friends who you're actually going out with without your boyfriend is an unwise action to engage in if you are in a relationship that you want to grow.
Is it naive to think that was possible to have a platonic relationship with somebody? Mind you, this is somebody I've been going to school with since kindergarten.
Absolutely. And it's naive. The more attractive you are, the less likely you can make male-female platonic relationships work. So you already said at the beginning, that all the other guys around wanted you, and your current boyfriend was just one of those guys.
Yeah.
So that tells them that you capture male attention very easily, right? It goes both ways, by the way. It's not just a woman thing. I know in society we're like, oh, the men play the friend role just to get access to you. No, women do the same thing. I've experienced it. Like, women will pretend to be your friend as well, just to get close to you.
One add-on to add, like, this said friend is also in a relationship.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But so I would never think that, like,
Doesn't
anything
matter.
he would even be assuming any.
Nope. Doesn't matter at all. Because people cheat, right? They cheat. So, yeah, I wouldn't have, like, there's people who you can probably call friends, but I wouldn't, like, be going out with them solo. I probably wouldn't be going out with them without your boyfriend, right? Things of that nature. It's just an unwise move. So again, you're not wrong. It's not like, oh, you made this dumb decision. You made a mistake. You're a bad person. No, none of that. It's just sometimes you have to make certain sacrifices to
For the relationship.
for the things that we value higher than the thing we're sacrificing. Okay.
How do I think the hardest thing that I had with is trying to navigate how much was from his insecurity and how much was
That's a good question.
appropriate for him to be, like, placing on me.
That's a good question. If he's like looking for things, I would say that's definitely insecure. Right? Like, if he's going through your phone, asking to see your phone, you are, taking a little bit longer to text him back, right? And he's like assuming you're cheating. That's definitely insecurity. The way that you phrased or quoted him, it doesn't sound like he was making any kind of accusations. It sounds like he was actually giving you a clear picture of the situation. Like, these guys want you, which I'm sure he had a deeper appreciation for because he was once one of the guys who wanted you amongst other guys who wanted you. Right?
Yeah.
So he already knows how these guys are thinking about you because he's around them before he actually had access to you. So he's like, and it can be frustrating for guys when they like try to tell their lady that, and they're thinking that their man is the one who's not sane.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm telling you this is how it works, right? Like, these guys absolutely will sleep with you if given the opportunity. That's possibly a part of the reason as to why they're even claiming to be friends with you in the first place. Just imagine that you go and you see your lady's male friend, and then you know why he's there. He knows you know why he's there, but he's pretending in front of you that he's not there for that reason. Do you see how crazy that'll make you? Can you imagine that? How insane that will make you probably. So, like, that's the situation.
Appropriate things to me as well, because, for example, out of randomly, when we were talking about, like, a performer, and I said, I'm really looking forward to this performer coming to this country. I'm not from the U.S. And he said, the first thing that he said to me was, why? So you can fuck him too? Completely out of the blue.
That what your boyfriend said?
That's what he said to me.
Yeah, that's insecurity.
Those types of things, and then would confuse me to think, okay, you're just nuts. Like, how could you even think to say something like that? We were walking, my step, I almost faltered my step because how could you say something that's so insane?
Right. Yeah, that's insecurity there. 100%. Yeah, I told you, if he was making any kind of accusations, that's insecurity. For sure. So, I mean, like I said, two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
It could be unwise for you to go out with male friends, and you could be in a situation that may not work due to your boyfriend's insecurity. Both of those things can be true.
I'm definitely not friends with that person anymore, and it doesn't seem like it's worth rekindling this because he's also not interested in any type of self-work, therapy, or anything like that.
Oh,
so it just
okay.
seems pretty.
Yeah, if he won't even own the fact that he's insecure, that's rough. Yeah. If he was willing to see himself and work on it, fine. But nope.
Okay. Thank you. I
No
just
problem.
needed to hear external input for this.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, bye. Am I the only one?
Have the water on.
if I'm the only one who wants to know what she looks like, considering all the men wanted her at the job, kind of need to see what that's like. What's going on there? Hey, Evie.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. So, I guess my question, I'll start with the question first. I'm trying to decide if this man really, how do I know if somebody really likes me? If communication is off. So we don't text during the week, but every weekend, every Saturday we plan to see each other. But he'll only text me like the Friday before wanting to make plans. And when we see each other on the weekend, he'll do like everything for me. He's real nice, real sweet. But I've brought it up to him before that like I can't do this if there's no texting throughout the week. I feel like we'd be closer if we were talking more, you know, it'd be easier for us to get along.
Right.
But I don't know what to do now that I've brought it up to him several times and it's just not changing.
Yeah. There's high interest, medium interest, low interest, right? Person who's low interest, it's hard to see them in the first place. The person who has low interest in you or likes you to that degree will probably only see you if they have nothing better to do. Medium interest, they'll see you, but they're not really trying to engage like that. You bring up any kind of issue, they're unlikely to correct their behavior. High interest, they're more likely to want to talk to you more often than not. And if you bring up something, they're more likely to correct themselves if they're causing the issue. The vibe that you're getting from this guy is like mid-tier interest.
Yeah, it's like way low.
Yeah, sounds mid-tier. To where he wants to see you.
Him, he just...
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
When I see him, he just acts like real obsessed with me. Like, oh, this is this, you know, like he hasn't had many relationships. I think like one other relationship, and he's not a very social person. So I don't think it's anybody else. I think he likes me, but I don't know how to do the low effort, like you said, like low interest, low effort. You know, it's all. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, he's not talking to you through the week, right? He only sees you on weekends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. So when you brought this up to him, what did he say?
He told me he would do better, but I haven't seen that yet. And it's
But
been,
he hasn't.
Almost
But he hasn't
5-4
given you
months.
like a legitimate reason as to why he was not communicative.
Well, he told me it was because he's not on his phone often. He said, "I'm not on my phone often." That was his answer. I know he has a job. He's in like police academy. I don't know what he's in, but he don't talk to me. And on the weekend, he takes me on dates. So take me expensive places, real nice. So do everything for me. But during the week, it's just like, it feels more like, I don't want to say a friend because he does take me on dates, but that's what it feels more like, a friend.
Is he on social media or anything like that?
No.
He's not on social media at all?
He had Instagram, but he deleted it. He doesn't have TikTok. He doesn't have anything else. We haven't been intimate together. That I know.
And how long y'all been
He didn't
dating?
have anything like that. Almost a year.
Almost
We
a
ended
year?
it at about 5 months. Because he wasn't talking to me, and then I restarted it. And I told him, I said, I just want to take it slow. But yeah, no, we haven't been intimate.
Whoa. Okay. That just opened up a whole new conversational path. So you were in a relationship for almost a year, or y'all were dating for almost a year?
So we were in a relationship for almost a year talking. He had asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes, and that was at about the 5-month mark. And about 2 months later, I don't know, the communication was still off.
Okay, has he tried to sleep with you?
No,
He hasn't tried to sleep with you.
no, he just like gives me hugs. Like, he hasn't tried to kiss me or anything.
Is he like very religious?
No.
Okay,
He's
now
real submissive too, like real.
come on now. I feel like you're trolling a little bit. He's real submissive.
Is he like a rainbow boy? Like, I'm unsure.
That
No,
listen,
I'm not trolling.
one thing that I get annoyed with is women like throwing DL allegations out like crazy over every little thing. This one fits. This one 100% fits. I don't see why somebody would be in a relationship with you for almost a year and not even try.
I thought it was me. I thought it was me.
Hold on,
this
let me
whole
see.
time.
It
I
might
don't
be. Let me
know.
look at your profile picture. It might be you. Let me look. Let me see. Hold on.
I don't know. I don't make the first move because, like, I'm a lady. I just leave that up to the man.
Okay. All right. So why did you date him for a year without any kind of
Well, I've, not to trauma dump. I've had some trauma, so I'm not really looking into that right now. So if I'm not against it, but I'm not making the first move either.
So this has never come up in conversation.
No.
He's
never like kissed me on the cheek, kissed me on the forehead. He like holds my hand and he'll give me a side hug, but no like full on hug. And I thought it was because he's never had a girl. Like I'm his second girlfriend. Whatever this is.
How old are you two?
I'm 25. He's 26.
25, 26. Okay. There's only two possible scenarios here. Either you're trolling, or he doesn't,
my mama.
or he doesn't like women. One of those two things is what's going on.
He's real submissive in person. Like when I see him, like I feel like he'd jump off of a bridge if I told him to.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
like no boundaries.
I don't know, love. We'll try asking him to sleep with you and see if he's that submissive.
How do I bring that up?
Yeah, just say it. Just say it. If he's truly that submissive, then. See, I don't believe in asexuality. Somebody said, or he's asexual. I don't really know about that. But anyway, love, I gotta move on. But I wish you the best of luck. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You take care. Come on, y'all. She's definitely trolling. Definitely trolling. Come on. Come on. That's 100% trolling. What's up, CC? Yeah, the story like intensified at multiple points. It kept spiking. It's like trolling. Now you're trolling. CC, what's happening?
Hi, good evening. Nothing much. Just came out to do a commercial break because it is past the first hour and we are not. Oh shoot. Okay. Sorry. I'm Uber right now. We're not even at 60K, guys. So let's get this power tap on. I'm gonna ask you guys to stop whatever you're doing and just power tap till we get to at least 65K. We get to 65, and we only have 6 shares going on down there at the bottom. So if you guys can repost the live to your story, it helps get more people in here. As well as if you want to send it out to your top 15 followers that you guys have. So that gray arrow down there at that bottom, yeah, that's that repost. There we go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. I see those numbers. I see you guys in the chat helping out. Don't forget, we want to just take the time right now to just power tap. If even at least 200 people just stop whatever they're doing right now and power tap, those numbers will jump so fast. So let's go ahead and just power tap. That way we can get the live up in the algorithm on TikTok. Yes, it is the commercial break. And it helps just more people to discover this live, so you can get more people coming up in the panel. Don't forget, if you have a question, it's a little bit faster to go ahead and just come through the panel and get your question answered. And that way you can also give that context, because if the coaches have to read those comments, you only have so many characters you get to put in, and he might even skip it too. So if you want to be prioritized, just come up and ask that question, guys. Don't be shy. We're very supportive. And if you do come up, don't pay attention to the comments because we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. Coach will always point out the good comments as well as some of the bad, okay? Because sometimes we don't know. But let's see, we're already at 52. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. Keep power tapping. Power tap right now. Don't forget to grab your daily heartbeat if this is your first time in here. It's that orange heart right up at the top. If you have a private account, only coach can let you up. So you probably check it right now to see anybody's private account want to come up. But if you have a public account, Mod can let you up a lot faster. And you can also get up on that backup account. If you don't want to be discovered by somebody up in here, is once you come up in the panel, your followers will see you on a live, just so that you guys know that. So let's keep power tapping. We're at 55. Can we get up to 60 real quick? Let's go. Just tap. Tap, guys. Tap. Let's go. Thank you guys in the chat for keep putting in tap that screen, because we understand that it is so important. We ask you every time. We appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right, thank you, Coach. You go ahead and drop in. Thank you, chat.
Appreciate you, CC. Appreciate it. All right. Pursuit of Happiness. What's going on?
How's it going, bro? I had a question for you. I was gonna ask you if you're married by chance.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, the question that I had was like me and my girlfriend, we've been serious for about a year and a half now, and I think that we're really going in the right direction. But I was gonna ask maybe if you had some advice on how I can strengthen our relationship, because I feel like I don't think that I think we're going in the right direction, but I can use some more advice.
Okay. What makes you even question things? Like, what do you feel like is missing currently?
Well, what I really feel like is missing is just I guess a schedule for both of us, because I know that we both work, so it's kind of sometimes hard to I guess manage everything, and do it kind of at the same page. So the only reason I was asking if you were married, maybe because if you had any idea about living with someone, because right now we're not living together, but I just wanted to maybe any advice on what I can do to help our situation. What do you suggest?
Okay, run them by me again. I didn't catch what the problem was. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you a problem?
Yeah, what do you feel like is the weak point in your relationship currently?
I guess the weak point is I don't know. I don't really feel like there's any weak points.
You don't have
Actually, one? I'm lying. I think our weak point is right now our emotions. I think that's what it is.
Okay. Why do you say that?
So I personally in the past I've gotten upset about her feelings. I guess sometimes I thought how could you feel that, I kind of just question her in that way, and she might feel the same way about me, about things I've done, things I feel. I try to be open and honest, but sometimes I feel like I overshare things, or I might be saying the wrong thing, and I'm just trying to not do that often, and especially if we're about to live together, because that's what we're trying to do. We're both trying to save up money, get a house. But I was maybe gonna ask since you're an adult, since maybe I've experienced anything that you could guide me on at that end,
I mean, it sounds like you just keep doing what you're currently doing, man. Even me asking you what the problem is, you had to think about it, so there's no glaring issue. How long have you two been together?
We're going about a year and a half right now. We were dating in when we were young, 18 years old, but we kind of had a falling out because at the time I wasn't ready for a relationship personally. She would tell me her problems and stuff, and I didn't really know how to handle everything. I was trying to be the best person for her, trying to tell her oh, don't worry about this, let me help you with this, and eventually it got kind of overwhelming, so I just kind of told her I think that we should both get ourselves together and then kind of rekindle later, and it ended up working out for us. But it was okay, during that little break or whatever, that's when she tells me, okay, I did this, I did that. I'm kind of frustrated, and it didn't happen until later, so it wasn't oh, as soon as we start talking, she's just telling me everything. It was kind of 6 months into our relationship, and I just decided I want to persevere through this and actually put my feelings to the side. But sometimes I'm damn, I don't know if I'm thinking the right way or not, because a lot of people are always telling me oh, y'all shouldn't be together, this and that, and I'm I don't think that way. I think that we have a great relationship, but maybe they're envious or something. But yeah.
Why are they saying you shouldn't be together?
Maybe because our race. They always be saying stuff about my race for some reason.
What's your race?
Well, I'm Hispanic. I'm actually I have a lot of races. My family, we're real diverse, and we have Mexican, Puerto Rican, North African,
What's
a whole bunch of different things.
Okay, what is she?
She says she's black. Her mom's light skinned. I mean, I don't really see. I see past color, so I just see her as a beautiful girl, and I love her, and I respect her, and I want to. Oh, that's our biggest problem actually. Is our family, her family, her side of the family, they don't really give me an opportunity to get to know them, and I really want to do things for them, show them that I care for them like family too. But I guess the way that they are with my girlfriend, they're real kind of rude, and that's a problem that we kind of have. That's our biggest problem actually. I can't get to go take her mom on a date, a double date, or things like that.
So they're not welcoming to you?
Yeah, they're not welcoming to me.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge as to why? Has your girlfriend shared?
Well, yeah, I know that my girlfriend has she's very she doesn't talk to her parents a lot, or her mom, because that's what she's living with. But she doesn't talk to her mom a lot about problems and stuff, and I know that maybe her mom's seen her crying before or something like that, and she kind of just tells her don't stay away from boys and everything. Even though I'm I mean, I would pay her bills. I'll be trying to do things as a man. I'm a young man, I have to obviously to get my life together too. But like I'll be trying to make her life easier, you know, and like I take her on dates every day. Like I do my part, you know, to try to like make her feel loved.
Gotcha. Okay. Can't really control the family's acceptance. It's not something you can really force.
Damn.
Yeah. How old are you two currently?
We're both 23.
Okay. And you move in. When are y'all moving in together?
Yeah, we're gonna move in together. We're planning to save 10 grand each. So we've been both saving. We're like about halfway there, but I don't know. Like she wants to live in an apartment, and I want a house, and it's kind of like something that we kind of clash heads a little bit with because she doesn't like the maintenance and all that, and I tell her like I'll take care of all of that stuff, but she just says that it stresses her out. So she's like, I really want to get in an apartment like sooner than later. Like she doesn't like to be with her mom. So I tell my family's very welcoming. We have like a good house, you know. I live with my parents, thankfully, because they allow me to do that. But I contribute in the ways that I can. But I'm sorry, I might be talking too much. My fault.
You're good. You're good. I mean, listen, man. I don't have anything to tell you. Like, just keep fighting that good fight, brother. Like, there's nothing like no sage wisdom. I can tell you that moving in will change things. Like, you'll both start to notice. You know everything that you like about her currently.
Yeah.
All that's left to find out is what you probably don't like about her, right? And vice versa. So when you live with somebody, you'll find out certain things about them when you're like forced to be around them 24/7. Like, well, I don't really like that this person does that. Just give each other grace, right? But that's really right now, that's the only thing I can tell you. Me giving you random advice is not going to help. It's better if like you bring to me a problem and then we can tackle the problem, okay? But right now, I wouldn't be looking for problems.
Is this a problem that maybe you could help me with? Like, okay, I don't know if I should like marry her sooner or later because I really want to like do something special for her, you know. But at the same time, I don't want her to think that I'm just like bullshitting her, you know. Like I want to actually take her seriously. And I mean, the way I think about it is like I want to do something that, you know, she's never seen, nothing on social media. Like just make it real special. But I don't know if it's like a good time right now. If like I'm too young. Like I don't know, you know, what can you recommend?
I wouldn't say it's not like being too young or anything is not the question. It's always the reason why you're doing something, right? The reason why you're doing it matters more than the actual behavior, right? You just said, I don't want her to think that I am stringing her along. I don't think she thinks that. I think you're just kind of being anxious over the situation, right? Like let the milestones breathe. Like you are about to live together. Like let that breathe for a second before you jump to the next milestone, right?
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, bro. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me up here. I like what you're doing, and you seem very like humble and like, you know, helpful. So I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, brother. Best luck to you. All right.
All right. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Likewise.
Bye. Good dude, man. J-Nee, what's going on? J-Nee, are you there? Because you're muted. Hello? Oh, it was a mistake? I got you. Did you like unmute yourself and freeze? Did you get really anxious right then? You ever have people like come over your house uninvited, knock on your door, you freeze till they leave? That's what J-Nee just did on the live. All right, now Asia, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Uh-huh. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Good. Okay, so I have been single for the past year, almost 2 years. Me and my son's dad separated, so I wanted to take some time to really like heal, get to know myself again. So I just really recently started dating. I met this guy a few months ago. I would say like 6-ish months ago. And we kind of connected, but I just kind of fell off. I was like, I don't think I'm really ready to get into anything serious. So he circled back. And this time, he came very consistent. He was like, we're not going to do like this texting thing. Like, he immediately planned a date. We have been going on dates pretty much every week for the past 2 months. So things have started to escalate intimately, and we see each other, fairly often. Like I said, he takes me on a date. We spent Valentine's together. But if you were to like go through our messages, you would not think that we're dating. Like it's just very, it's moving at a very slow and steady pace, and I appreciate that. But we've never had the conversation of like, what are you looking for? It's just like very, I don't know. I don't want to say surface level, but almost like it's bordering the surface level, but it's very consistent. Like every week he's asking me to do something, or like we're making some sort of plan. But yeah, like it's just kind of So I don't want to be that girl that's like, what are we? But I don't know. Like I would kind of like to know like what's going on here. What are your thoughts?
How long have you been dating?
We have been going on dates now for 2 months.
Okay. Okay. In person, what's the vibe like?
It's almost like the same, like it's friendly, it's cool, and then he's very affectionate. Like if we go out, like if we're in public, like he holds my hand, opens doors, all like the, typical gentleman things. If we are like in a more intimate space, like he recently started to come over and we'll watch movies. So like if he comes over, he like greets me with a kiss, like we'll, he'll like kind of snuggle me on the couch. Like everything like lines up, but I don't know. Like it's just something isn't there. Like
right.
I don't know.
It's like one of those situations that it makes sense on paper, but in practice.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, like if you went through our message thread, you would not think that we're dating. Like even something as simple as like every morning he'll text me, good morning, how are you doing? I'll say, good morning, handsome, like how's your day? He doesn't really compliment me like that.
Got you.
Especially in person. I don't think he's ever complimented me in person.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
How did y'all meet?
Hinge.
Okay. So first date, there wasn't like, what made you keep seeing him?
It was a fun first date. We connected on a few different things that we were both interested in. We're both parents, so that was nice. We had like a level of understanding for each other. It was just fun, like good vibes. Like I can tell that layers of his personality are being like peeled back each time we hang out. Yeah, like it was just nice. Like I felt of this year of dating and meeting people, like he is one of the first people I've met that's been normal. So I wanted to give it a shot to see like, okay, like how is this gonna go? And it's been consistent, but it's just like, I don't know.
Okay. So what makes you want to put a title on it?
I don't necessarily want to put a title on it. I want to know what exactly like are you looking for? Like am I just someone that you want to like just hang out with, be intimate with, or
so
like
y'all are
you
sleeping together?
Huh?
Y'all are sleeping together?
Yes, we have.
Okay. And that's good as well? We're good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good there.
All right, cool. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like So if you were to articulate the problem, you would want him to engage you in like a more romantic way. Like it's almost like you're trying to gauge how significant you are to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
Like,
title
just
would
kind of get an
represent
idea of
that.
like what is your end goal here? Because I'm always
Gotcha.
very open about
Okay.
what I'm looking for,
Got you. Yeah.
but I just don't really know how to take it. There's just no like I don't know. There's
Gotcha.
just like no urgency almost. Like I don't know. It just seems very vanilla.
Okay. What is your past dating history like? What kind of guys do you have you typically gone after or ended up with?
I will say
Uh-oh.
I don't want to say love bombed me, but
Okay.
kind of teetering towards that. Like
Uh-huh.
they're pretty like straightforward with I want to date you or like I've had a guy move in very quickly or like my
What's very
last relationship that was
No, keep going.
3 years. It was pretty like instant. Like it was like an instant connection. Like we had like love at first sight type deal.
Gotcha.
So I'm typically used to guys like that are like super into me. Like there's no doubt that they're into me.
Right. And none of those connections work.
No.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, so
Right.
that's another reason why I'm like, let me just see how this is going because it is consistent. He's not doing anything wrong. It's just I don't know. It's just a little bit of a different connection and I just feel like some aspects of it are a little boring, but not that's harsh. I don't think it's boring. It's just there's just not that oomph that I am used to.
Right. And that's how you have to kind of like change and get to a healthier place, right? Because like if you look at this from like an attachment style perspective, a lot of people pass up on securely attached people because they feel boring to your nervous system, right? So you like those guys to move fast because it was very stimulating for you, right? This guy isn't that stimulating because he's not moving that quickly. Now there are certain things that you can communicate, like if you say that he never compliments you and you like that, like that's something you could probably have a conversation over. Oh, did she drop? Her connection must have fell out. But I mean, he did it. If y'all sleep together, it is moving fast. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, you kind of want to have patience with those type of connections because it doesn't sound like this is a bad connection at all, right? Sounds like a pretty healthy person to build with, if you ask me. Hello.
Hi, brother, man.
What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I have a question. It's not necessarily like around dating. It's more so a life advice question, generally speaking. So no homo, but you know, you seem like a very attractive man in general, right?
Right.
And you know, I personally I get a lot of compliment as well. Just wherever I go, people just telling me, you know, I'm relatively attractive, but there's like another side that comes with that. I was just wondering if you have had any experience where, you know, in life in general, you walk into rooms where there's like, you know, negative hate that just come from people, generally speaking, whether it's at a job, let's say, you know, if you have a manager, or people just, you know, people just automatically assume that, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's more so like wherever you go, there's a pushback from people, generally speaking. But there's the other side of it too, where like, you know, you do get love from people just based on like, you know, whether because you're not just because that, you know, you're attractive, but just because like, you know, you're a good person at heart, right? But I just wonder if that's something that you have experienced, generally speaking, of just people like trying to test you, or just, you know, I don't know if you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. In my life experience, like I very easily get attention from people in general, but I haven't had a lot of experience where it's taken the form as like negative energy, right? There's been times where there has been like the whole like hater energy, but I don't think that was due to any kind of like aesthetics or anything like that. That was more like what the specific scenario I'm thinking about is an old job I had. That's more like charisma and me just being socially dominant, right? Some guys who feel like they're unseen, or you remind them of maybe their bully in high school or something like that. They project that shit onto you, right? But what I experience mostly is like guys trying to be friends, you know? Like that's been most of my experience since I've gotten out of high school is dudes will see me and then assume maybe that, oh, you must do well with women, so if I'm connected to him, I also will get access to that as well, right? That's been more of the energy that I've experienced. It hasn't been like guys hating on me for the most part.
Interesting.
So you had a different experience.
I think for me it's like, okay, I'm a very like reserved guy, generally speaking, like,
right.
And whenever I walk into the room, like, you know, I pay attention to people, and like I don't necessarily like, I wouldn't say like I'm definitely not a social butterfly or anything like that.
Right.
So I think that people sometimes, because it does take time before you actually like start to connect with them, it's like there's this subconscious thing where people think, you know, you're necessarily rejecting them, or you don't want to associate. It's so weird. It's a weird concept, and I actually seen there's they talk about it. It's like the handsome man problem or something like that. It's something that I came across online, but
I think like if you're more reserved, I've had women think I was stuck up before when I was younger because I was shy. Right? So like if you look good, it's the halo effect, right? People like project positive qualities onto you.
Yeah.
But so if you are attractive, my mother's had the same experience. I have a very beautiful mother as well. And she's also very shy and socially awkward, right?
Yeah.
So I remember when I was younger, I was socially awkward and people thought that I was like stuck up or an asshole, right? Mostly women. Really, I was terrified to talk to them. But if you look like you shouldn't be terrified to talk to them, they assume that because you aren't, then you must, you know, be feeling yourself a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
So I think that their looks don't equate to extroverted traits. I agree, but some people may think that it does. So I think that if you do look a certain way and then you're not very welcoming and inviting, then people may project like those negative qualities onto you. And I think that's probably what has protected me from the situation that you're describing is I work so much on my social skills since I was like a young man that when I go into social situations, I just show myself as friendly, to be honest with you. Like I just talk to people. I engage people. When I talk to them about them. I'm not trying to like make them think of me in a certain way. I'm not talking about any kind of accomplishments or anything like that. It's like, what do you got going on? Let me big up you on that, right? When you move in that way, there's fewer people who you don't really give them the space to project those negative qualities onto you. But yeah, if you create like a vacancy there in perspective, then they'll fill it up with whatever they want to fill it up with. So that's probably just me thinking through it. I think that's most likely what's going on. I could be wrong, but I think that if you're more standoffish, they're probably just feeling that hold up or whatever insecurities they may have.
Yeah. And one more question. Do you think that in a way has shaped how you go about approaching people? Because you did mention that, you know,
you worked on those social skills, and now you're so much focused on what like the other person got going on, which is like a great social skill to have.
Right.
But I'm guessing like there's gonna be days where you're not like, you don't necessarily have that amount of energy to like focus on somebody else, or you just kind of want to walk into a room and just chill and not talk too much, or like, but like, you kind of like, I guess what I'm asking, has that played a role in like shaping who you end up becoming in those social situations in a way?
It can, but like, it only bothers you if you let it. Like, I've had certain evolutions where, first I was terrified of how people perceived me, right? That was me younger, and then I transcended that to being able to influence how I'm perceived by way of just being chill, cool, and spreading positive vibes. And then in this season of life, I transcended further to not caring. Like before, like when I was at tier 2, when I was, influenced how I was perceived, if you misread me or misunderstood the situation, I would feel the need to correct you, right? Now, I don't care if you misunderstand. I feel no desire to correct you in your perspective. It's like you can think what you want. And that's very freeing. And it also is a more charismatic place to come from.
Yeah.
Right. But good questions, man. We could talk about it more fully a little bit later. I got to move on, though, all right?
Absolutely. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your perspective.
No problem, brother. You take care. All right. Naija.
I'm back. Sorry, my phone died.
All right. Cool. Dropped at the perfect moment too. What were we talking about?
Oh my god, he's talking.
What was your story again? Okay, the guy. Got you. Okay. So you're dating a guy, and we were talking about your past relationships, and the one you're dating now probably isn't as stimulating as the guys in the past, because the urgency and the speed at which they moved was stimulating to your nervous system. And you probably, well, that's how love bombing works, right? It's like the person overwhelms your nervous system, right? It just becomes intoxicating. So it's like they come in and you just get, it's like a high from that connection, and then they pull the rug from under you, right?
Literally, yeah.
So this guy is not doing that. He's like moving more at like a slow burner's pace. Probably is a bit more secure. And I think that the things that you are noticing aren't real problems. You can correct me on this if you want, but I think that things you're noticing aren't real problems. It's you trying to grasp at something to make sense of why you feel like something is missing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I definitely think that. Like I will say, like, he is not my typical type. Like, as far as, like, interests and, like, morals, values, and things go, like, yeah, those are aligned. But, like, as far as just, like, the pace, it's very steady. It's very normal. And it's almost like I'm searching for, like, okay, like, why isn't he? But then it's like, he is. Like, he takes me on a date every single week. He's very intentional. He lets it be known that he wants to see me. He's super affectionate. Like I said, the compliment thing, it does kind of like, not. He's of course called me beautiful, gorgeous before, but like it's just not frequent. Like it's just not like, it probably hasn't been in weeks or so. Like maybe like 2-3 weeks since he's told me I was beautiful. Whereas like me, just a part of like how I date and interact with people I'm interested in, like I'm always gonna tell you you're handsome, or like you're cute, or like you look good, like, that's just me. But yeah, I do think I want to continue to see how it's going, but I just didn't know, like, am I getting friend zoned? Like what? I don't know.
No, he's just moving at his pace, and it's a pace you're not used to. He probably moves a bit slower, And like I always say, look at behavior, right? Like he's making time for you. He's seeing you. You say he does pay you compliments. If you want more of that, if that's like more of a love language thing, then yeah, you can have that conversation. Maybe breach the conversation by saying like, what are your love languages? The way that you're describing him, if he knew that you expected that, he may put a lot more energy there.
That's a good point. I will definitely take that advice.
But be patient, love. Like it's one of those situations where this is what a healthy relationship feels like.
Yeah.
And if people want a healthy relationship, they just have to accept that that's what it feels like. It's not fireworks. It's not a roller coaster. If what you are in feels like that, then you're in for a bad time eventually.
Yeah, and I've definitely learned that, which is why I wanted to change up my dating habits and just kind of be more open and not just cut someone off because they're not moving super fast or, I don't know, obsessed with me or something. Just like normal. He's a pretty normal guy, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, but keep me posted. We'll see. The verdict is still out. Definitely keep me posted, love. You take care.
You too.
All right, DY, what's going on? All right, Kay, you gotta be blocked because you're fucking annoying.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, D?
Hey, just kind of wanted to give you an update. If you remember my story, the whole Atlanta, New York situation, husbands in New York.
Yes.
Yes, so wanted to give an update, and I know the last time we talked, it was more so that he was kind of giving short answers, you know, in text and conversation. So we actually did finally talk, and you're exactly right. I think the old marriage is dead. So not necessarily a question here, but just kind of one telling you how much I appreciate these lives and things of that nature. I was able to fully get my emotions and my feelings out without him spiraling. And he was able to get his emotions and feelings out about how he felt about me expressing my emotion, because that's something that I never really did to a certain degree. So we have come together and come up with a solution and a plan, and we are going to close in the gap. But in the meantime, we will, I guess, do what it takes to be able to still allow each of us to feel like we're both being heard. I think one thing that he kind of told me was sometimes when I question like what he's doing and it makes him feels like I don't trust him. And I was telling him, hey, that's not the case. It's more so if I have a question, it's more so clarity. And part of that is fear, especially uprooting and moving to a whole nother state and coming into an environment that I'm not necessarily used to. So it wasn't necessarily me questioning your authority or that you can handle or that you can't provide or take care of your family, but it's more so to have that comfort there. So he did say, you know, he does have fears as a man. He said it was scary coming up there, going to a new city. He said, but the difference between a man and a female is, in some men, he just still go for it, regardless of the fear that he may have. He's still going to try to see that thing through. And I was like, well, I know with women, sometimes when we have fear, we just like to kind of talk about it and get all those emotions out versus, you know, keeping them tied in, because I didn't even know he had fear about even going up there.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't know that because you didn't express that, because it was, hey, this is what we're doing. And now that I know that, I'm able to be like, okay, I'm aware that he may be going through some emotions and feeling that he's not even talking about.
Right.
But just kind of wanted to give you an update on everything. It's still scary for me.
Right.
Because again, I have 2 toddlers, you know. Even though I'm in Atlanta, I'm still kind of close to my family. But we have made a decision to try to close that gap, over time. But right now, he's, trying to map out what area is best for us to kind of go to. So just kind of wanted to give you an update, not necessarily have a question.
That's
If
progress.
you have any advice, I'm welcome to hear that. So also.
No, I think you're doing beautifully. You leaned outside of your comfort zone, right? And this is the perfect illustration of like why you shouldn't shy away from conflict. Because when you have conflict, it's rough, but if you make it through that, you get closer. You just learned something about your husband that you didn't know before. Like he opened up more to you.
Right.
To where like now you're perceiving his emotional landscape. You see more into his inner world. In other words, y'all cultivated deeper intimacy through the conflict.
Yeah.
Right? So had you not had that conversation, this new intimacy, this new depth that you just unearthed would not have been achieved. And in addition to that, you would have grown in resentment.
Right. Well, I definitely appreciate that. Marriage is hard, chat guys.
Right.
Marriage is hard. It's hard. It's not for the weak. You just have to. I mean, it's give and take, but it's definitely not for the weak. But for those that are dating, just just keep an open mind. And again, thank you, Coach, for everything. I'll still be listening to the chats and the lives. Maybe taking some more advice. This is a hurdle that we are getting over. So I just wanted to say appreciate it.
Absolutely, love. Definitely keep me posted, all right?
Thanks. Bye.
All right, take care. Love to hear that. D called in a few times. It's like her fourth call. Okay. Celia?
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm good. So I'm not in a relationship.
Okay.
But my question is, I've haven't been in a relationship for a really long time, and I've never really been in like a committed relationship. And I've never people say like, oh, you passed up a lot of good men in your youth. I'm 32 years old. I've never in my 32 years of life met a man that I felt was good, that I missed out on. And I'm like, maybe my standards are too high, or maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but I haven't met a single man that is worth even being a boyfriend.
Okay. Let's talk about those standards. What standards do you have, love?
I'm honestly not that picky. I kind of just want somebody who has the same that I have, like a good job, possibly an advanced degree, above average height, attractive, and I want somebody who's like smart with money, no kids.
Does smart with money means he has a lot of it?
Somebody who makes like 100 or maybe like 150.
Okay.
And no kids. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I feel like that's it.
Okay. All right. And you say you've never been in a relationship?
Not a committed relationship, no.
Okay. So the men you come across did not check all those boxes?
No, not even close.
What were they missing?
So like the last dude I talked to, he had 2 kids.
Okay.
He didn't have a stable job.
Okay.
He had a lot of debt. Those are like the top things right there.
How did you meet him?
Oh, at a nightclub.
Do you often meet men at nightclubs?
Kind of. I would say like 50-50.
Well, that's a big part of your problem, love. You're meeting them at nightclubs, right? So you're selecting for a particular demographic.
Probably.
Yeah. So that'll help a lot if you don't meet them at nightclubs.
Well, where are you gonna meet him at then?
There's tons of places you can meet people. Wherever men go is a place you can meet men.
I mean, I've met men in different like areas. Like I've talked to people who have a lot going for themselves, but it's like there's still something wrong with them. Like I've talked to doctors, lawyers.
Okay. What was wrong? What were they missing?
So the last doctor dude that I talked to, something was wrong. He was kind of weird.
Okay.
But he ended up stopped talking to me and like married some girl like a month later, which was weird.
Okay.
I don't even feel bad about that. Like I would have never.
But what was wrong? What was he missing though?
He didn't think normally. I think something was wrong with him. He didn't think like a regular person. I don't know how to explain it, but he just, his social skills were off,
Okay.
I guess you could say.
And that was the doctor. What about the lawyer?
The lawyer, I can't even think of anybody right now. Like I've gone on a lot of dates and I know that they've been lawyers. I know that they've been doctors, but I can't think of any. There's only a few people I can think of that I talked to more than like a first date.
Okay.
And yeah, and then the other dude that I'm talking to now, he's like young, and I think he lies a lot. I think he's a liar.
Why do you think that? And how did you meet him?
I met him at a basketball game.
Okay.
And yeah, he's like 28. And yeah, he just told me that he bought. So like he had said something about how he was saving money or he didn't want to spend money because he just furnished his brand new apartment that he just bought. And I was like, okay, like, so I'll just come over like and we'll chill. It was one weekend. But then the next weekend he tells me that he bought him and his mom matching Rolexes. And so I'm like, either you're lying to me and you didn't buy that, or you just didn't want to spend any money on me, or their watches are fake. I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, it was like crazy.
Okay.
And we've only been talking for like 2 months, maybe.
Gotcha. Okay. What do you do for a living?
I work for the city of Philadelphia.
Nice. Okay. Well, there are certainly men who meet the standards that you set. It's just a matter of finding them, right? So you probably have to be a little bit more intentional as to where you're finding the men. But then at the same time, you must also be a match for what they're looking for, right? Like when you say, like, what's your age range that you would entertain?
I don't really have one. I've talked to like 50 and then I've talked down to like 25, so.
Okay. Well, that helps. That certainly helps with like the no kids angle. But yeah, I mean, I would go to places where people have the character that maps to the outcomes that you're optimizing for.
I feel like I've been to a lot of different places, and I still haven't like found that. Or I've also noticed like if they are a man that has all that, especially if they're like a black man that has all that, they're not trying to settle down. So
it's a real dilemma.
And then,
Yeah, it's a real dilemma.
Yeah. So they have terrible attitudes anyway, because it's like you think you're the shit and you're really like you're not.
You know what? The actual best strategy for women, not to get in my Shira 7 bag, the best strategy really is to get someone up and coming. Y'all fuck up because y'all want someone already at the finish line. And when he gets to the finish line, he gonna feel like he hot shit, and why would he want to commit? I'm at the finish line now, right? So it's like I can have my way out here. It's the equivalent of trying to get a 22-year-old woman to commit. She at the prime of her life. She in her peak sexual marketplace value. Why would she commit that young? when she has the body, everything's tight, everything's sitting up high. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and have a good time, right? Men have that same experience on the back end when they get older and they have access to more resources. So this is them as a 22-year-old girl. So it's a poor strategy to be looking for a man who's probably looking for a woman in their 20s, to be honest with you. Like, you're obviously a very attractive woman, so you can pull it off. You have the aesthetics to pull off what you're looking for. I know you know that already, right? But it's going to be harder, right? You really are in a situation where the ones who probably will get on your program are the ones who are going to be missing certain qualities that you want. And the ones who have all those qualities that you want probably ain't trying to be tied down by nobody because they have all those qualities that you want, which are qualities that a lot of women want. A lot of women, the most beautiful women on the planet want those qualities, right? And they're like, when these men have access to them. So it's like, why? You know, there was wise words that was told to me once. It's like, you can have anything that you want, but you can't have everything that you want. Right? So it's like, really think about what's really important to you and what you could compromise on. So I would say, like, separate your list from like need to haves. Like, really think about it. What do they need to have? Meaning, I won't even entertain you if you don't have these things. And then have your nice to haves, right? If you find someone that checks your need to have boxes, lock in with that person. Because you're likely not going to find the person who has all your need to haves and all your nice to haves and wants to commit to you and not cheat. And like, that person probably doesn't exist.
I mean, I just feel like it's crazy I can't find somebody on this, like, the same as me. Like, it's not like I'm asking for, like...
You can, but part of your problem that I can probably hear is that you're probably entertaining people who you already know not going to be a good fit. Like the guy at the basketball game, right? You probably knew that he wasn't going to be a good fit. You entertained him probably because you just wanted to, right? But every person you say yes to, you're saying no to somebody else. So maybe you need to be a bit more strict on who you let into your world. Okay? All right, love. Best of luck to you. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Take care. All right. Remy.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
These Floyds, they won't let me date them. They're being hypergamous, bro.
What you mean, bro? They being hypergamous? Where you finding them at? Where you trying to?
They won't date me.
Where you trying to talk to them at?
School.
Okay. How old are you?
18.
18. Okay. You in college?
Yeah, freshman in college.
Got you. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. The younger you are, the more that red pill shit applies. I'm not even a red pill guy, but like the younger you are, the more that shit is true. What you look smacks and what you doing, man? We in the gym?
Yeah, I look smacks.
You look smacks?
I'm looking naked right now, so I can't turn on my camera.
Okay, so you got some muscle mass on you?
Yeah. I'm about 180 lean.
Okay.
And I am 5'9".
5'9". Okay. 5'9" is workable. 5'9" is workable. Okay. Are there any kind of like can you status match at the college that you're at?
Not really. It's kind of a small college.
Really? Okay. Do you have a social media presence?
A little bit. Not really anything too big.
What are you into? Like, what are you into? What are you good at?
I'm into like video games, but like sometimes I play a little bit of tennis.
Okay. Are you good at tennis?
I'm alright. I don't really play for the school. I just play like recreationally.
Okay. Try and find something we can work at. Because status is going to be context dependent. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay. So depending on what situation you're in, your status can be high or it can be low or it can be medium. Okay. So the best play for you is to get good at something that can be done on display. Right? So that's why I was asking you questions like, okay, what are you into? Right? When you said tennis, I'm like, are you good at tennis? If you're good at tennis, tennis can be used, right? But that's like what you want to do at your age is just find something, man. It can be fitness if you're really into the gym. That's cool. It could be some sort of sport. Video games aren't the best one unless you are planning to go to different like events centered around video games. That's kind of co-ed, right? But you got to find something to become competent at because that competency makes you even more attractive.
What if I'm really good at like say like gooning?
At gooning?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be very attractive to guys. Is that what you want? You trying to switch teams?
Because I'm low-key bisexual.
Well, perfect. Yeah, go ahead and get you a boyfriend.
But like, there aren't a lot of like dudes looking for other dudes at my school.
What school do you go to?
University of Red.
He's trilling. Come on, Eva. You gotta. That Galaxy S3, man. You gotta get yourself right. Hold on. I think I missed something. Did Bobby say something? Are you telling Bobby to get me? Bobby, your girl got a Galaxy S3. She's trying to type to the chat on. I keep trying to get her to get a new phone. She won't do so. Tony, what's going on, bro? Tony, you there?
I'm sorry, I think I got on by now. Sorry about that.
Oh, you didn't mean to come up?
No.
Okay. No worries, bro. I'll take you off. My God, that was an A1 troll. Yeah, it was a better troll than we had. No, it wasn't, because he started off by calling women foids. I knew it was probably like going to be a troll because of what he called them, but I was trying to be hopeful. Foids is like a new term that's used that guys call women who are like red pill in the manosphere, that kind of stuff. It take them like 3 years to respond. Yeah, when they come up on by accident, they don't really know they're up yet. Oh yeah, no more cuts. 11:06. What am I doing?